In this video, we're going to walk through the setup process for the Calendly Salesforce integration. We'll also talk about the features included in this integration at the time of this recording. So to get started, you're going to need to decide whether or not you want to connect to a production Salesforce environment or a sandbox environment. Now, regardless of which one you choose, you will need to be on the Enterprise Edition or higher. And this is because the Calendly Salesforce package that we'll install in a little bit uses Apex classes. So I'm going to go ahead and click Connect to Salesforce and go to the production route. So I've now authorized Calendly to send data to Salesforce, but the next step here is I need to install the package, which includes all the necessary objects and flows to make it easier for you to run automations within Salesforce. So for this video, I'm going to just install for admins only. And then this grant access just allows your Salesforce organization to make web callouts to Calendly.com. So now that the package has been installed, it's going to show you the post-install steps to complete setting up your integration. But I'm going to go through all of these in this video, so we'll just go ahead and click Done here. And now, if we hop back to Calendly, and we click to refresh this page, we'll now see that it has detected the installed package. Again, as of this recording, this is version 2.4. And you can see some of the features here already, the push new events to Salesforce, and then also syncing those Calendly links within your organization to Salesforce. And we'll talk about that in further detail in a little bit. So let's go ahead and in Salesforce, we're going to go to Flows. So the Calendly package will add these flow templates, cancel event template, create event template, create routing form lead template, and then also the map user Calendly link template. So that's a lot. We'll walk through each of them. But for now, in terms of the setup, what you're going to want to do is go into each of these templates and save them as a new version. The reason that we want to do this is because if you upgrade the Calendly package, there's a chance that your flow template might get updated as well and override any customizations. So what we want to do is we want to create our own version of this template that is not modified during an upgrade. So that'll ensure that we maintain all of our customizations. So I'm going to click Save. And very important here, you want to make sure to click Activate as the flows are deactivated by default. So this will ensure that the flow actually runs when the event is canceled. So let me quickly go to our create event as well. Great. So let's talk about what will happen now that we have these cancel event and create event flows active. Well, by default, when a Calendly event is scheduled, that data will be pushed to Salesforce and then trigger this create event flow to run. Again, by default, this will then create an event in Salesforce and associate it with a lead or contact, depending on the email address of the invitee. Also, the cancel event will update the event created from this flow to indicate that it's canceled. Now, we'll go over in a separate video in detail the flows, but because these are templates, the great thing about this is that you can customize all of this to match your organization's needs. So now we'll go to the Create Routing Form Lead template. And same thing here, we will go ahead and clone this. And very important, make sure you click Activate. And what this flow does is whenever a Calendly routing form is submitted, this flow will run and it will attach that submission to an existing contact or lead. But if a contact or lead doesn't exist, then it'll create a brand new lead for you by default. And of course, again, just like the other flows, this can be customized. Okay, so we are almost there. The last template here is this map user Calendly link template. And what this does is this is how it syncs the Calendly links to your user profile. So we can go through this flow since it's pretty simple here. Basically, when the link sync is run, it will find a user in Salesforce that matches the Calendly user's email address. And if a user is found, what it'll do, it will update this Calendly link field on your user record with the link URL. And we can take a look at that in a moment. So again, just like everything else, we're going to go ahead and clone this. And of course, we're going to activate it. So now that we have all of the default flows activated, let's take a look at how some of these features work. So to do that, I'm going to hop over to Calendly. And you'll see this sync button here. Now, you do not need to manually sync the links. This will run every hour, and Calendly will resynchronize those links to Salesforce every hour. But for this demo, I'm going to go ahead and just click sync here so we can take a look at what that looks in Salesforce. So I'm now viewing my user record in Salesforce, and you'll see this new field that is included in the Calendly package, and that is just called Calendly link, and it's associated with the user. And you can see that my profile link has now been synced from Calendly to Salesforce. So in email templates, email automation, I can now reference my user's unique Calendly link dynamically so that a lead or contact can be directed to the correct scheduling page. So the next feature we're going to look at is the routing form submission. So I'm going to hop over again to Calendly, and here we've got a very simple routing form that is being used to get lead information for our organization. So let me go ahead and fill this out. And now when that form submission is sent, that information will be sent over to Salesforce and run that default flow, which should then create a new lead for us in Salesforce. So let's take a look at that. So we can see that the lead was created in Salesforce, and you'll notice these placeholder values. That's because we did not have those questions or accept their name within the routing form. But if we did have those in there, we can update the flow to map their first name, last name, company name, and other information over into the form. So we're not going to go into the customizations in this video, but that will be done in a future video. Just know that, again, all that information can be mapped wherever you would like it. So the last feature we're going to look at is the create event flow that we talked about earlier. So let's see what that looks like within Salesforce. So I'm going to hop over to the booking page here, and we're going to use that same email address that we used previously so that we can see how the event is attached to that lead record. So I will click Schedule Event. And we can now see that the corresponding event was created in Salesforce and related to the lead by their email address. Now, let's say that this lead did not exist in Salesforce. What would happen is that the create event flow would create a new lead by default and associate that event to the newly created lead. So this is just a walkthrough of the default basic functionality of the integration. But what is so great about this integration is the flexibility. Because these flows are just templates, you can customize them to fit your organization's needs. And because all of that data is saved in a custom object within the package, you of course don't even need to use the flows if you wouldn't like to. You could just use the base custom objects to retrieve data within Salesforce. So that's it for this video, but please look out for future videos that will go into customizing the flows in greater detail. Thanks for watching.